Tuesday, August the 19th at 6:30 p.m. If you would, please silence your cell phones and any other electronic devices. If you will please stand for the prayer by Councilman Fuller and the Pledge of Allegiance by Councilman Elvin.
Let everyone compose their hearts. Now, Lord, in the name of Jesus, we come before you once again with thanksgiving in our heart. Thank you and praise, oh God, for another day you showed us that we're not promised. Thank you and praise for how you've been so good to us, for you've been better to us than we've been to ourselves, and we just want to say we thank you, we praise you, we magnify you right now. Asking you, Lord, to look upon this beloved city, oh God. We ask that you look upon our mayor, each and every one of us, one by one and name by name. And you said in your word, you said, if my people, which are called by my name, shall humble themselves to pray, and seek your face and turn from our wicked ways. You said, then shall we hear from heaven, you heal the land and forgive our sins, oh God. And we come as humble as we know how tonight. We come asking for your wisdom, oh God, that we might lead this city in the right direction, for we love you and we thank you. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Please join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Councilman Fuller, and thank you, Councilman Elvin. That brings us to our agenda order of approval. Do we have any changes, Ms. Shancy? No? Do we have a motion by council to approve the order? Councilman Fuller, have a second? Second by Councilman Minor. Any discussion? All in favor? Councilwoman Jamison? Motion carries. That brings us to our announcements by Ms. Shancy.
Tasting Thursday will be August 28th, starting at 11 a.m. at the former City Nursing Home property. And the City of Gautier and the Jackson County Chamber and all the other cities will be hosting the Celebrate Big 20 event at the Sound Amphitheater on Thursday, August 28th, beginning at 5:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. Gautier's Farmers Market will be Saturday, September 13th from 8 a.m. until 12 p.m. at the former City Nursing Home property.
Thank you, Ms. Shancy. That brings us to our presentation agenda, and we do not have one this evening. So we'll go on to business agenda item number 1, consideration for an abatement at 1424 Highway 90, Gautier, Mississippi by Planning Director, Mr. Scott Anderson.
Thank you, Mayor. Business agenda items 1, 2, and 3 have all been mitigated to the degree of satisfying the abatements. At this point, there may be code enforcement issues still on the properties, but those will need to be handled through the court system.
Okay. So you're saying we do not need to discuss business agenda item 1, 2, and 3?
Correct.
Okay. And we have citizens that are here. Mr. Denos, will you explain this to citizens that are here, because they all are here to speak on these agenda items, because I recognize every one of them.
Yes, ma'am. So the abatement process is when we come to City Hall if there's a danger or to the public safety, and those are only certain things. It's not all code matters, but according to the planning department, all those safety things have been resolved. All the things we were proposing to go on the property things have been resolved. The other code violations that don't result in a health and safety issue will be handled through the court system.
Okay. So we just move on those 3, but I do want to tell the citizens, if you did not sign in, because I do know you all want to speak, even though by statute, as you just heard from the attorney, we have to pull these, we cannot take action on them. So if you did not sign in and you want to come to the podium and speak during citizen comments, make sure you sign in on the sign-in sheet if you did not, okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome. I apologize to y'all. Okay, that brings us to business agenda item number 4. Consideration of a special exception that would allow a manufactured home in a Merck MW mixed-use recreation commercial zoning district located at 3032 Mary Walker Drive, Gautier, Mississippi, GPC number 25-30-SC by Planning Director Mr. Scott Anderson.
Thank you, Mayor. The planning department has received this request from Clarence Wesley Wally for a special exception that would allow manufactured home in the Merkin Deputy Mixed Use District. The application fee of $250 was paid on June 6, 2025, and all public notice requirements have been met. This is a lot approximately 1.69 acres up in the Mary Walker District. It has an existing mobile home park on Southern Highway Estates. It does have potable water and wastewater services available. I've included here the current zoning, surrounding zoning, and the land uses. I've also included in the memo the review criteria for a special exception and the applicant's responses and staff findings to those. The definition of hardship that you reviewed. Upon hearing this case, the planning commission recommends approval of special exception because the evidence presented meets the criteria for approval from the DEO. Council may approve the special exception with changes or deny the special exception. Included the full package for you, including the minutes from the meeting and the full packet map for review, and I'll answer your questions. That's my order.
Any public comment? Thank you, Mr. Ankerson. Any public comments on business agenda item number 4? Do we have a motion to accept and approve Planning Commission's recommendation to approve a special exception that would allow a manufactured home in a Mark MW mixed-use recreation commercial zoning district located at 3032 Mary Walker Drive, Gautier, Mississippi, GPC 25-30-SC, PID number 870-10063.000.
So moved.
Got a motion by Councilman Fuller. Do we have a second? Second by Councilman George. Any discussion, starting with Councilman Elbin?
No discussion.
Councilman Fuller?
No discussion.
Councilman Minor?
Yeah, I got a couple of questions. Scott, they're gonna have to adhere by the same rules as any other mobile home park with hard surface parking,
Yes, sir.
all that,
Yes, sir.
and, you know, a little hill so the trailer can sit on where no water gets underneath it. How many mobile homes can they put on this one parcel? How many is allowed on that one parcel? They've got we've like 6 on it, 6 buildings, 7 structures on it already. It's only one parcel. So
There are density requirements and limitations for
Mhm.
parcels in each district.
correct.
I'd have to do the math, but I could get you that number. if you'd like.
Yeah. I would just like to know before we start approving a bunch.
They're
to
under
go
the
in.
density requirement.
They're under the limit?
I'm checking with each one, yes, sir.
Okay.
And this is an existing mobile home park, so a mobile home park
Well-
now would not be allowed in that district since the rezoning.
Mhm.
But under special exception, which is what they're asking for,
Yeah.
then they can.
Because I know that the other mobile home park is on the other side, and then they bought this property here and added it
Yes, sir.
to it. So, because it was just that one little house there for years and years. And when they bought that, then that's when they started putting the rest of these mobile homes on that one parcel. I just want to make sure that we're not overloading that one parcel prior to,
Yes, sir. We do check
you
that.
see what I'm saying?
I'll give you that specific number,
Yeah.
how many more they would be allowed.
Yeah. That way we can, you know, if they got enough, then no more can be put on the property.
Yes, sir. If a request came in like this, and we did the research and we checked the numbers and it didn't, it was already full density, we wouldn't allow it.
Yeah.
Not be allowed.
Okay. That's all I got.
Okay, thank you, Councilman Minor. Councilwoman Jameson?
No comments.
Councilman Jackson? Councilman George? No discussion. We have a motion by Councilman Fuller, a second by Councilman George. All in favor? Councilwoman Jameson?
Aye.
Motion carries. That brings us to business agenda item number 5, consideration of a special exception that would allow a Monty Pine wireless tower in a C1 neighborhood commercial zoning district located at Ladner Road, Gautier, Mississippi, GPC 25-34-SE. By Planning Director, Mr. Scott Ankerson.
Mayor, the planning department has received a request from Youth Singular Wireless PCS LLC for a special exception that will allow a monotime wireless tower in the C1 neighborhood commercial district. Application fee of $250 was paid on July 10, 2025, and all public notice requirements have been met. On this, we have on this property, it's approximately 0.46 acres on a vacant lot. I've included in the discussion section of your memo the review criteria for the special exception, along with the applicant's responses to those and staff's findings. And again, the definition of hardship we review. The Planning Commission, upon hearing this, recommends approval of the special exception because the evidence presented meets the criteria from the UDO as listed. City Council may approve the special exception with changes, or deny the special exception. And again, in your packet, I've included the minutes from the GPC meeting, along with the 4-pack maps.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Ankerson. Do we have any public comments on business agenda item number 5?
Yes, Mayor, my name is Grant Charlton with Baker Donaldson on behalf of AT&T. Can I approach?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. And by the way, I was looking at the agenda, and agenda item 6 is regarding this same location. So if it's okay with the council, if y'all have questions, y'all can ask me basically questions regarding agenda item 5 or 6, because I'm tasked
Well,
with.
they can't until we get the business.
Okay, well, I'll just hang out there.
Okay.
AT&T is requesting to build a cell tower off of Ladner Road on a parcel that's zoned C1. AT&T recognizes the location requires a special exception and humbly requests that the city grant the same. AT&T is not aware of any objections from the community, and we believe that the community will be appreciative of the increased cell service. The black binders that are in front of you, I apologize, some are labeled appropriately, some do not have a cover sheet, but if you look at tab 13, that is the service area that the cell phone tower seeks to provide additional coverage for. As y'all are well aware, section 4.16 goes over the criteria for approval of a special exception. First, that literal interpretation provision of this ordinance would deprive the applicant of rights commonly enjoyed by others of the district in which the property is located, and that interpretation of this ordinance would work unnecessarily hardship upon the applicant. Given the zoning around this area, there's really not a location that would fit within the current zoning guidelines that would provide service to the area identified in tab 13. So taking the current zoning, AT&T's worked to find the best possible location for the cell tower to provide service. B, that the requested special exception will be in harmony with the purpose and intent of this ordinance and will not be injurious to the neighborhood or general welfare. Quite opposite. I don't even have a landline. I don't know if y'all still do. But having cell phone service, as we all know, is pretty critical. And this would certainly help that congested area get better cell service. And that the special circumstances are not the result or actions of the applicant. No, AT&T's in the business of providing cell service, so we certainly, we didn't create the zoning map, and we're trying our best to work within the restrictions currently in place. Also, section 4.18 also has criteria for approval regarding our application, beginning with that special conditions and circumstances exist which are peculiar to this particular site, structure or building involved in which are not applicable to other sites or structures or buildings in the same district, That's certainly the case, as is shown in the documents produced, and given the need of the community. That literal interpretation of these provisions of the ordinance would deprive the applicant of rights commonly enjoyed by other properties in the same district under the provisions of this ordinance. I touched on this last time, but given just the layout of the zoning map for this particular area, there's not a suitable location that would provide service for this area as would be approved under the zoning ordinance. And that the special conditions and circumstances do not result from actions of the applicant. That was pretty self-explanatory, given the area that needs service and the zoning restrictions that are currently in place. And that granting the variance request will not confer upon the applicant any special privilege that is denied by this ordinance to other similar sites, lots or parcels, structures, or buildings in the same district. That's certainly not the case. And as with these cell towers, there's usually room for other service providers to use the pole if needed. So certainly it doesn't provide a special, well, other than we're asking for a special exception, it doesn't provide any special rights upon AT&T. With that, I'll take any questions and do my best to answer them.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other public comments on business agenda item number 5? Do we have a motion by council to accept the Planning Commission's recommendation to approve a special exception that would allow a monopine wireless tower in a C1 neighborhood commercial zoning district located at Ladnier Road, Gautier, Mississippi, GPC 25-34-SE, PID number 8251332.025.
So moved.
Motion by Councilman Jackson, a second by Councilman Minor. Any discussion starting with Councilman Melvin?
No discussion.
Councilman Fuller?
No discussion.
Councilman Minor?
No discussion.
Councilwoman Jameson?
No discussion.
Councilman Jackson?
Yeah, that area, I do have a dropout, so we do appreciate you bringing your business there. Thank you. No further comments.
Thank you, Councilman Jackson. Councilman George?
This is really going to improve that area, but over by Gautier Elementary School, which is a little bit closer down to what we call the old place, and there's the causeway. There's a really bad dead zone there.
Okay.
Is it going to benefit that area at all? I know it's right outside the circle, so I don't know if it's, but when you're there around the school, you can't use your phones.
I wish I was smart enough. We have engineers who can provide that question, but I'll do this. I will ask the people above my pay grade about that question, and I'll get back to you. So the area by Gautier Elementary School,
Yeah.
that is right outside the
Right outside
service
the
area
zone,
that's
yeah.
identified.
It's down on Morning Tree Drive, if you want to write that down. That's the road that goes through the
Magnolia Tree.
Magnolia Tree. It's awful there.
Given my understanding of the technology, it should,
It's
because right now the service, it's going to provide more bandwidth, and so, you know, with that tower, it should allow nearby towers to use more, so to be able to provide, you know, service to that area. So I'm hesitant to say yes, given that's not really my purview.
Okay.
But I will certainly look into it and get
Okay.
back to you, okay?
Thank you.
Okay. First of all, I want to thank you for coming. My one question, but I think it's addressed in here, and Mr. Ankerson, one of y'all, you know, a competitor built a tower and this type of issue, and we put guidelines on it because it was not like this area, and it's in the town center, it's open, and they have not abided by the requirements produced on them. This is going to be around, in that you're not going to clear the buffer, right?
Right.
It'll have a driveway going into and then the buffer will be around it, and nobody's going to see it.
Right, there's going to be landscaping put in place. It's also going to be painted to
Tie in.
and it's also in between two tree lines,
Right.
which will also help hide it.
Okay.
So,
I was just making sure what I was reading in here is going to be actual, and we don't need to put, like we did the other one, any stipulations. It's going to be,
Whatever the ordinance requires
okay.
will be assured.
Well, let's, if y'all,
In place upon.
we already got the motion and second, but if y'all will make sure. I mean, people don't need to be out their backyard and have to eventually look at
And
I would just encourage the buffer to be there.
and the application states what the cell tower is to look like and the landscaping is going to be
Yeah.
in place. So I think that would provide, Mr. Danos can speak to that better than me, but given the representations AT&T made in their application, if they differ, Mr. Danos can get there, but I think there's already some protections in there given this.
That's what it appeared to be. I just want to make sure. We're going to make sure there's buffers. And my other question, I echo what Councilman George says, because I now unfortunately have to carry 2 cell phones because my personal service don't get service, and I was missing a lot of calls. So now I got 2 service providers. So I can assure you, and Ms. Yancey was just bringing this up, because we got a lot of guests at the Shepherd State Park area, and Shepherd State Park, our state park that we manage, is not in that circle, and the service down in that area off of Graveline Road does not get any AT&T cellular service.
I think it covers some of Shepherd's.
It covers like a very edge of it. It does not cover the, I looked at it, and the circle does not cover the main cabin and right behind there by the barn. It covers some of the land, but it don't cover where the people are. And then also the Highway 90 corridor, and you can relay this to them, but when they did the fiber, and this is when this issue with their service started, when they put fiber between Highway 90, along Highway 90 between the 2 river along there, when they were placing all that new lines, that's when the service went down.
Okay.
So I don't know if there's something that would benefit you all, but the service from when you're in between the bridges all the way until you get almost to Gautier Van Cleve Road, sometimes you have to get all the way to Dolphin here at Burger King before you get good service again. So if you can ask them if they could please, we've repeatedly asked, but maybe coming from their legal counsel, it might get the spark going.
Yes, I'll definitely look into that, and I'll try to get y'all some answers.
Okay. But I do think this will help some of that southern area, but like we're saying, outside of that circle is where we're having a lot
My
of
understanding
issues.
is because of the congestion, it'll allow more service. So hopefully the cell towers that are around that are nearby will be able to better service the area, since that area identified will have extra help with this cell tower. So.
It's like at the ticket center.
Okay. Sounds good.
Like the sound when you scan your ticket, it will leave a lot of pressure.
Oh, yeah. We got a motion by Councilman Jackson, a second by Councilman Minor. All in favor? Councilwoman Jamison?
Aye.
Motion carries. That brings us to our business agenda item number 6. Consider a request for a 23-foot variance from a telecommunication tower to the nearest residence in a C1 neighborhood commercial zoning district located at Ladner Road, Gautier, Mississippi, GPC number 25-35-VAR by Planning Director Mr. Scott Ingerson.
Thank you, Mayor. This request is also from New Cellular Wireless PCS LLC. The application fee of $175 was paid on July 10th, 2025, and all other requirements were met. The applicant is asking for a 23-foot variance to the distance requirements between a telecommunication tower or monopole to the nearest residence. So the ordinance states that the distance between the nearest residence and the tower or pole shall be equal to the height of the pole plus 30 feet. That would equal 150 feet in this instance. They're asking, the proposed tower will be 127 foot two. I mean, that additional 30 feet is going to equal 23 foot less than what the ordinance requirement is. So that's where the 23 foot variance comes in. I will say the planning commission meeting was described by the applicant's representation there, that this monotine design pole is designed in such a way that it would fold in half if the lateral load ever exceeds the design load, which would be required by our code. But if it were ever to be compromised, this pole would fold in half before it fell, which means that distance would really decrease of the pole from the 150 to 75 feet. That's according to design. But that being said, the 127.2 is still greater than the actual pole height right now. I think the extra 30 feet was put in the ordinance to get a little extra buffer away from a fall in case a full height tower would fall flat, kind of give it a little bit, 30 more feet away in case there were a projectile from that fall. I think that was the intent of the ordinance. But as I said, in this case, the pole is designed to fold in half before fall. So, that being said, I've included the definition of hardship in your packet peer review. Also, the review criteria for a variance is demonstrated in the ordinance. Upon hearing this case, the planning commission recommends approval of the variance due to the evidence presented meeting the criteria for approval from the UDO. The council may approve the variance request as presented, approve the variance request with changes, or deny the variance request. Again, I included the full package, the minutes from the meeting and the maps for this.
Thank you, Mr. Ankerson. Do we have any public comments on business agenda item number 6?
This is Grant Tarleton with Baker Donaldson again on behalf of AT&T. For this, the best information that I could provide y'all to help ease concerns about a potential collapse of the cell phone tower can be found on tab number 14. An engineering firm goes over how it's designed. The poles actually have an interior cable system, so the event that one of these would fall would be very rare. But if it did fall, it has a cable system which will essentially make it collapse on itself. Thereby, it actually has a fall radius of 0 feet. No nearby residential properties would be affected with the way it's designed.
Okay. Any other public comments? Do we have a motion by council to approve the Planning Commission's recommendation to approve a 23-foot variance from a telecommunication tower to the nearest residence in a C1 neighborhood commercial zoning district located at Ladner Road, Gautier, Mississippi, GPC number 25-35-VAR, PID number 825-13320.025. We got a motion by Councilman Minor. Do we have a second? Second by Councilman Jackson. Any discussion starting with Councilman Nelson?
No discussion.
Councilman Fuller?
No discussion.
Councilman Minor?
No discussion.
Councilwoman Jamison?
No discussion.
Councilman Jackson?
We got proof now. Thanks to you. If this doesn't withstand a 160 wind or anything, we got proof you said it would. I have no further comments.
Councilman George?
No discussion.
Okay, we got a motion by Councilman Minor, a second by Councilman Jackson. All in favor? Councilwoman Jamison?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank y'all.
Safe travels home.
I'm staying in y'all's neck of the woods tonight.
Oh, well, thank you. Enjoy one of our lovely restaurants this evening.
There's your book.
That's y'all's copy.
Oh, keep going.
Business agenda item number 7, approval of the docket of claims. Our city clerk, Ms. Montgomery, has already placed them on the website for public review, attached them. The council's been able to review them and the general public. So that's the staff presentation. Do we have any public comments on business agenda item number 7? Do we have a motion by council to approve the docket of claims provided that all entries thereon are true, correct, properly entered, and not fraudulent? We got a motion by Councilman Minor. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman George. Any discussion? Start with Councilman Elvin.
No discussion.
Councilman Fuller.
No discussion.
Councilman Minor. Councilwoman Jameson.
No discussion, no discussion.
Thank you. Councilman, that echoed back to us. Councilman Jackson.
No discussion.
Councilman George.
No discussion.
We got a motion by Councilman Minor, second by Councilman George. All in favor? Councilwoman Jameson.
Aye.
Motion carries. That brings us to our consent agenda. And I apologize, just to let y'all know, Councilwoman Jameson is on the phone due to being out of town for work for her full-time employer. So she apologizes she is not here, but she is participating by phone due to that reason, and I should have announced that earlier. Do we have anybody that wants to pull one of the consent agenda items? 5?
Yes, sir.
Anybody want to pull another one? Any other ones? Okay. 1, 3, 4, and 6, 3, 10. Oh, we want to put, oh, you want to pull 12?
So you want to pull it, that was-
He's going to, yes, Ms. Shancy, he's going to pull 12. Okay. So, do we, consent agenda item 1, approval of minutes from regular council meeting held August the 5th, 2025. Consent number 2, receive July 2025 privilege license report. 3, receive June 2025 finance report. 4, authorization to enter into a professional services agreement with Goodwin Mills and Kaywood for the Gautier Historic Schoolhouse rehabilitation. 6, authorization to enter into a modification agreement to the grant subaward agreement with the Mississippi Department of Environmental Quality for the funding related to the Highway 90 sanitary sewer and water line Singing River Mall project. 7, authorization to enter into a modification agreement to the grant subaward agreement with the Mississippi Department of Environmental Quality for funding related to the sanitary mains rehabilitation project. 8, authorization to enter into a modification agreement to the grant subaward agreement with the Mississippi Department of Environmental Quality for funding related to the citywide lift station upgrades project. 9, approval of a sponsorship of the Gautier High School alumni tailgate event. 10, resolution approving closure of roads and traffic control measures as described in the application for a special event permit submitted by Gautier High School Alumni Association. 11, resolution directing the placement of liens on properties located in Gautier, Mississippi for fees and charges incurred by the city of Gautier to abate the unsafe conditions of vacant structures pursuant to Mississippi Code Section 21-19-11. Do we have a motion to approve 1 through 4, 6 through 11?
So moved.
Motion by Councilman Fuller. Do we have a second?
Second.
A second by Councilman George. Any discussion? All in favor? Councilwoman Jameson? Motion carries. That brings us to consent agenda item number 5, resolution authorizing the city manager to negotiate for professional engineering services for the Federal Railroad Administration, FRA Dolphin Drive CSX grade separation project by Ms. Yancey.
Yes, so going back, you were awarded a federal grant, a railroad crossing elimination grant for engineering and design only for an overpass over the railroad to provide a way to kind of get to South Gautier when the rail was blocked. You had a rail study done, and that's what the location they recommended. So we tried the grant for 2 years, and you were awarded it this past year. So it's administered through the Federal Railroad Administration. And each of these federal grants have different requirements. But this federal grant requires that you comply with not only federal procurement, but also 20 CFR, which relates to minority and disadvantaged businesses. So we follow the federal grant procurement requirements to the letter, because if we do not, then that would jeopardize your getting reimbursed for funding, because they require a request for qualifications. So we drafted a request for qualifications. We went out and attached to your sheet in there is just the criteria that was looked at with an explanation of what it is for the scoring of those submittals. You had 3 submittals. Now this project is different because it's so large. All of them submitted in a team. So some of them with more participants than others. So you had Neil Schaefer and Burns Cooley and Dennis as a team. You had Wagner Engineering, Batson and Brown, Burns Cooley, Dennis, Coastal Environments, and Integrated Right-of-Way as a team. And you had Seymour Engineering, HDR Engineering, Urban Systems, and Burns Cooley and Dennis as a team. So once the proposals were received, a selection committee was put together comprised of 5 members: Sam King, Teresa Montgomery, Scott Ankerson, Ramona Morgan, and myself. We got the proposals and we each went our own way and evaluated them without talking to each other. And we turned those scores into Ms. Brenda over there, and she created the tally. So out of those proposals, the highest score by far was Seymour Engineering, HDR Engineering, Urban Systems, and Burns, Cooley, and Dennis. So I've asked them to come tonight, and I would like for them to just tell you a little bit about HDR and Mr. Seymour to tell you kind of about his team. So if you want to give them some information.
As you guys just heard, we put together a team of 4 different...
Mr. Seymour, will you state your first, last name?
Mark Seymour, Seymour Engineering.
Thank you.
We put together a team of 4 different companies that covers every specialty required for this large project. You guys are familiar with Matt and I. We'll be doing the field surveying, roadway design, utilities, and project management. I have the representative from HDR here. He's going to stand up in just a minute and speak and tell you about his company. I brought in a traffic engineering firm called Urban Systems. They're a minority and woman-owned business. I've worked with them for over 30 years. We've accomplished a lot of nice projects along the Gulf Coast. And as you heard, Burns Cooley was picked by every team. They're the go-to geotechnical and material testing company in Mississippi. So I was very proud of the team that we pulled together, and I certainly feel like we're going to do a great job for you guys. I'm going to hand it off to Matt here to say a few words.
Yeah, I just wanted to add, Matt
first.
Kirk, sorry, I think I met all y'all at some point. I just wanted to add that we chose to partner with HDR. They're going to be our bridge design engineer. Not just off their resume, which is great, but I was a bridge engineer early in my career, and worked with several of the guys that will be involved in this project. So we weren't just cold calling engineers, and we actually have a good working relationship. Look forward to that. And with that, I want to introduce Ryan. He is the structural engineer from the Mobile office, and he can talk a little bit about their capabilities.
Ryan Hedlund with HDR Engineering. So for those of you that might not be familiar with HDR Engineering, we're an engineering architecture firm, a national global firm, almost 14,000 employees across the country. Of that, about 600 specialized bridge engineers spread across the country, about 100 of them in the southeast region. So we have a totally dedicated rail design unit also that is very familiar with dealing with Federal Railway Administration, both with design requirements and with maintaining compliance with grant programs and with their different requirements. But From a structural perspective, we have a lot of experience with designing bridges in the state of Mississippi. We have a huge network, a huge resource network to tap into, both technical and financial. But my office is just, less than an hour up the road from here. So we're national and we're local. I personally have experience with doing bridge design in the state of Mississippi, so we're very familiar with the Department of Transportation's requirements for design. And we have experience with doing design with CSX. Every railway is a little bit different what their requirements are, and we're prepared to meet whatever those requirements are as we move forward on this design. So we're just really excited to be a part of this team and look forward to working on this.
Thank you, Ryan, for coming over. Mr. Seymour, was there anybody else with any of the other firms here or no?
It's just us.
Okay.
We're open to any questions that you guys may have.
Okay, let's see if we have any council comments. We have any citizen comments on business, consent number 5, since we pulled it? No. Do we have a motion from the council to authorize the city manager to negotiate for professional service engineering services for the Federal Railroad Administration FRA Dolphin Drive CSX grade separation project in an amount not to exceed $1,500,000?
So moved.
Motion by Councilman George. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Minor. Any discussion? Starting with Councilman Elder.
No discussion.
Councilman Fuller.
No second.
Councilman Minor.
Mark, sounds like you put together a good team, buddy. I mean, you got a guy that's got 600 employees, you know what I mean? And I really like the fact that you got a woman-owned company. It gives women a chance
Correct.
in the world to make some good money too.
Correct.
You know, and I really appreciate that, and I think it's gonna be a good deal.
Thank you.
Is that all? Councilman Minor?
That's it.
Okay. Councilwoman Jameson?
No discussion.
Okay. Councilman Jackson?
Yes, sir. The reason why I brought this up is not because of you, it's because when I got all the information, there was some information that wasn't put in the package that made it unclear to me. Like, we just got the understanding of the scoring and things like that, because on here, it's totally different from what I just received. And so that was one thing that if this would have been in, it would have given a clearer understanding. What else? That's pretty much it. It was just like some of the information wasn't in the package when we received the package. And so now I'm just not, I had to request it in order to receive it. And it's just me just being transparent with the public, making sure they understand that we're going to be transparent with anything that we give, that we deal with with the public. Because this is a big contract. This is a 1.5 million. So we want to make sure that we do the right thing and be transparent. And that's the reason why I brought this up. No further discussion.
Okay. Councilman George?
I'm happy to have you working on this project. You've put together a good team. You've always done great in the past, and I'm looking forward to seeing some of this on paper.
Thank you.
I appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
I just want to thank everybody who bid on the project and their interest in Gautier, number one. But number two, I want to thank the staff for, I know every package that was submitted had to be ratherly large. As you can see, just AT&T is a 3-inch, so I can only imagine the thickness of that project for the rail. And also, Mr. Seymour, thank you for your team and partnering with great people. Also, as it appears based on the scoring system we were provided, obviously that who you partner with get points to be able to award the contract to your engineering firm with your partners. I have to say, rail is very interesting. And having key partnerships in the federal delegation with rail is very important. As y'all know, in the rail industry today, we had some big announcements this past weekend, and I just was able to partner with some of the rail commission on the federal rail level in Washington that was here in coastal region, Mississippi, Louisiana, and Alabama. And their high point that they told me, they knew we were going out for this. They couldn't discuss it, of course, because that would have violated the bidding stuff. They couldn't tell us who they recommended, but they did say, and I will take away and leave the whole council with this because I feel it's important. It's important that you have somebody partnered with you that knows rail and the infrastructure around the rail to include, so when you're designing it, you get it right the first time. Because when you go to get your funding, you're not able to come back and ask for more. What you get is what you got, and you have to pay the difference if you don't meet in that engineering realm. So I say that because it's very important with this overpass we're looking at doing at Dolphin. So we definitely know the cost. So when we go at it, we do it right the first time because they won't let you come back and ask for more. We will have to figure out the rest of the funding. So kudos to our city manager for you partnering and recommending their selection to us. We have a motion by Councilman George, a second by Councilman Minor. All in favor, Councilwoman Jamison.
Aye.
Motion carries. That brings us to consent agenda number 12, authorization to advertise for bids for a street sweeper truck for Public Works Department by Ms. Shanksy. You wanted or Ms. Martin?
Make a presentation, or do we have just?
Probably, when I questioned it, probably just say the same. I told him that he needs to hear it.
It's the same question.
It was the same question, so, and I told him to let you give
Okay,
it.
so what happened was, I believe it was like 2017, maybe early 18. Clearwater bought a used sweeper truck, a piece of equipment. So when they got it, it already had 100,000 miles on it, I think. So they brought it up here, took a picture with us and everything, and so when they left and we did the transition, we got all of the equipment that was brought in and purchased by Clearwater during their 10-year tenure. We also issued borrowed some money to buy new equipment because a lot of the equipment was old and it needed to be repaired, and they had just driven the wheels off of it without really providing any need. So we issued some money. Recently, this sweeper truck kind of died and can't be repaired. And we use that sweeper truck a lot, not only just like on Gautier Van Cleve with the pine straw, we use it after the parades. We use that truck a lot. So because we had some money left over in the money that we borrowed for equipment that we had not spent, we are able to replace the sweeper truck without impacting your budget. But Mr. Seymour actually assisted us in drafting a set of specs to go out for bid for the sweeper truck. But I just need authorization to go out for bids so we can get those bids in and get the truck purchased. So that's what you're doing, is authorizing me to take those specs and go out and get bids on that sweeper truck. Does that help?
Is that all you had?
No, so,
Does that answer all?
so we don't know what's wrong with it, we just know it's broke down, we haven't had anybody look at it and try to fix it.
We have a mechanic for H2O to look at it, and we also called in a mechanic who deals with that type of sweeper truck, and he said it cannot be repaired. It's the engine and
There's
a whole,
so the way that truck runs, it has two motors on it.
Correct.
It has obviously the main powertrain engine, then you have what we call a pony engine that then drives the
Vacuum
suction
cleaner.
and vacuum and all that stuff.
Correct.
The particular engine on that truck is what is called a gray market motor.
We cannot buy parts for it. The John Deere style engine, there is no serial number. We try to reference anything we might have needed for it that we go through stripping. You normally reference a serial number for anything John Deere, order through stripping equipment that you get. Can't find parts for it. Underneath there's framework for suction. That's all the sheet metal on there is withered away. There's a water pump on there that's supposed to be damaged dust. It just hasn't been maintained for before it was purchased and after purchase, and it's
So the truck we looking at, is this a new truck, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
A new
And we
truck.
do have the funds for it, and it won't impact the citizens of Gautier?
Yes.
All right. I know a new one's about 350,000, I think.
As long as we got the money, they won't impact the people on it.
Is that all you had, Councilman? Councilman Fuller, is that all you had? Councilman Elvin, you have?
I know what.
Councilwoman Jameson, you have anything?
I know what a gray market machine is.
No comment.
We'll get a new one.
Councilman Jackson?
No comment.
Councilman George? Okay. Do we have a motion to authorization to advertise for bids for a street sweeper truck for Public Works Department?
So moved.
Motion by Councilman Fuller. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Elvin. I just want to thank everybody who helped, because we do, unfortunately, you just heard the potential cost of this thing. So we do have to abide by bidding laws when you're spending that kind of money. So we have a motion by Councilman Fuller, second by Councilman Elvin. All in favor? Councilwoman Jameson?
Aye.
Motion carries. That brings us to our citizens' comments. You come to the front for the citizens who might be speaking that have not been here. We welcome you to your city hall. It's great to see different faces come in person so you can see what's going on in your city. So just so you feel comfortable, how it works is you come to the front here, you state your first and last name and your address, and you have 3 minutes to speak. When you're down to 1 minute, Councilman Minor or myself will hold up number 1, and that gives you 1 more minute. When your 1 minute's left, I'll say your 1 minute's up, and we will be glad to meet with you after the meeting, myself or your councilman, to discuss whatever issue you might have. And that's just, the 3 minutes is set by statute. So first up, Ms. Denise Blankenship.
My name is Denise Blankston, and I reside at 8320 Meadowdale Drive in the Hickory Hills subdivision. Good evening to the council and the mayor.
Good evening.
I'm here tonight to address an ongoing concern regarding Broadmoor Drive. The entrance to our neighborhood. When I purchased my home in 2010, I was informed that mobile trailers on Broadmoor were grandfathered in, and that once they were removed or abandoned, no new ones would be allowed. However, in the past few years, at least 2 new trailers have been placed on that road. When neighbors raised concerns, we were told that we were told wrong and the area is zoned for mobile homes. I want to be clear, my concern is not simply the presence of trailers, but rather the condition they are in. If they were maintained like the homes in our subdivision, this might be a different conversation. Unfortunately, that's not the case. Many of the trailers on Broadmoor Drive are in disrepair, with broken windows or missing windows, overgrown weeds, or even appearing to be abandoned altogether. Some resemble dumping grounds more than homes. It's difficult and disheartening to have to drive past this twice a day. One of the properties that was on tonight's abatement schedule has been an issue previously. In fact, at least 3 of the trailers have been empty since I moved in here in 2010. Currently, 6 trailers on Broadmoor have been vacant for over a year. While a few residents do keep up their property, far too many do not. And the negative impact is visible and ongoing. I'm respectfully requesting that Broadmoor Drive, which serves as the gateway into our neighborhood, be rezoned to prohibit new mobile or manufactured homes. The entrance to a community sets the tone. It creates first impression for visitors, prospective buyers, and residents alike. Allowing mobile homes in such poor condition at the entrance undermines the character of our subdivision, which is made up of permanent site-built homes. Rezoning would help preserve property values, protect the visual integrity of our community, and prevent long-term neglect of unoccupied or dilapidated structures. If rezoning is not feasible at this time, I would urge the council to consider stronger enforcement of property standards for the mobile homes already there. No home should be allowed to remain empty or blighted for years. I respectfully invite each of you to personally drive down Broadmoor Drive and see the conditions for yourself. I hope you will assist us in making the entrance to Hickory Hills reflect the pride we have in our neighborhood. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you, Ms. Swink. We appreciate it. Mr. Ankerson, can you answer the zoning for that area?
I mean, I can go look.
Okay, I didn't know if you had.
I mean, I know that Broadmoor does have existing mobile homes. I'm guessing that some of it is R3 and some of it's R1.
Okay.
I guess at this point out.
Ms. Blankenship, we will get back with you on and give you a clear answer so you know what is allowed and the process.
Can you also let us know what we can do?
Yes, so, and we will, we'll get with the city manager, city attorney. Zoning, if you're requesting zoning in changes in areas, it's a thing, it depends if it's city already initiated or citizen initiated. There's application processes, and then there's criteria to meet rezoning requests. So we can gather that information and provide it to you. That's secondly. And then thirdly, I sympathize with you. My sister lives on Broadmoor at the very end and bought a beautiful home down there, and I drive it very frequently, and I can attest that our planning department, code enforcement works, but then it gets back there. They make a step forward, and then it goes 20 steps backwards, it seems. So I can tell you this much on a mobile home though, if the power is without power for 180 days, that they have to go through permitting and make sure they're up to code and everything else before power can get released to them.
There's 4 that I know have not had power and have been empty.
Okay. So I will request the city manager get code enforcement up there also, and definitely, I know they've done a sweep before, but if we can do another code enforcement sweep in that area.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. David Roberts.
How you doing? I'm David Skip Roberts. I live at 8209 Longwood Drive, same area she was speaking about. And yeah, it just seems like it gets, just one of those things, you go like, oh, this person is going to take care of it, and the time goes on. I built my house there in 2001. I heard the same thing when I built there, that no more mobile homes were going to be allowed. And also was told that, I think it's off Exchange Street or something like that they was going to propose building a road to come in from another neighborhood. That never happened either. And I don't know if that's true or not, that's just hearsay. So anyway, if you guys could look at either stricter code enforcement or either potentially changing the zoning as well too, that'd be great. Another issue I've had recently, and I started back in April emailing the planning commission, I think it's the planning commission or planning department rather. Abandoned vehicles are a problem in our city, especially in our neighborhood as well. If you go down Broadmoor, you go down Longwood Drive where I live, you go down Meadowdale, not maybe Meadowdale, but yeah, just in the corner of Meadowdale and Longwood. There's vehicles just there, and I tried to get at least a couple homes addressed back in April. I just looked at my emails, and nothing's changed. There's still abandoned vehicles there. I don't know how long it takes to get these vehicles moved once an issue is notified about. So, but anyway, just if the city in general could just do a better job with the abandoned vehicles, that would be a great help also.
Thank you, Mr. Roberts. And once again, I echo what you just said, and we will get the city manager to request the staff to do a code enforcement sweep through there. Based on the zoning map, it looks like it's split zone, meaning half the road is in a R. If this map, of course, as you can see, is very small, so I can't enlarge it. But it appears to be an R2 and an R3 possible zoning districts. So I don't know.
R3 is what allows mobile.
R3, one side of the road allows them, R2 does not, correct? So R2, once they go without power or whatever, they have to go through a permitting process. And then if they want to be able to get it to stay there on the property they're on, no new ones, they would have to apply for a conditional use or something, or a special exception to come back to allow a mobile home on the other side of the road, which based on this map would be the north side of the road. But the south side of the road, they are allowed.
Scott, do you know-
If I'm looking at this map, and Councilman Minor looked with me, and that's what it appears to be to both of us.
But that's a small map, so you really can't tell.
Where's that?
Susan Robichaud.
Hold on, I had a question for, hold on, Susan, before you come. Scott, do you know the criteria for, of these abandoned cars he's talking about? About cars that don't work, that's not in operation?
Dilapidated vehicles.
Right.
Would not be allowed on the property.
How soon could we have them to move that?
Enforcement and the court system.
Okay, can we get somebody to take a look at
Yes,
that?
absolutely. I can make
Okay.
that.
All right.
Ms. Robichaud, go ahead. So,
Hey, y'all, this is my first time. I'm a little nervous.
well, you don't be nervous. Just state your first and last name and address.
We all family.
Show 8213 Meadowdale Drive.
Okay.
I've been there 8 years. I like where I live. The citizens back here with me. Y'all, it's a fine neighborhood. You've got probably, I'm not going to lie to you, 150 to 200 nice homes back there. It's going through this one little road. Very small road. And it is horrendous. As they stated about the power, I've been down that road 100 times. I've been watching. There's at least 4 to 5 with no power. Non-livable. I mean, it's sad that we have to pass that. And saying that as a voter, Dante, I'm sorry kind of talking to you here. We voted for you because you're over our part of the world there, Councilman. Hopefully that you will look at these signatures. I went out and got, a lot of them retired, some of them I couldn't catch because they worked. But all of these people are saying, man, I'm sick of that road myself. I had another gentleman, been there 33 years. He was grouching, but cool. He said, for 33 years I've been here, and I will never vote again because I complained about that road the whole time I've been here. I said, well, complain, but let's step forward. I understand that's probably, what is it, grandfathered in 40 years ago? Let's bring it into the 21st century and let's try to get some of that garbage out of here. Now, my grandkids, I have 16 grandchildren. They can ride my neighborhood everywhere, bus, everybody. No problem. People walk their dogs, they're having a good time. Not one person walking down that sorry piece of road. It can be changed. I'm asking y'all to rezone it myself. For me, and the 150 to 175 houses behind it, guys to do it. I'm sorry, and I apologize. I wanted to make some copies. I didn't know to do that.
It'll be fine. We'll get, when you're done, Ms. Robichaud, you got 1 minute and then I'll talk, so I don't take your time.
Since 2019, this is part of y'all's records, there have been 84 code cases on Broadmoor. 12 cases have been just 2025. 3 abatements on Broadmoor since February 2025. This is in y'all's records. And I'm hoping that y'all will look hard into this for these people, me, our children, go further. Thank y'all very much.
Thank you, Ms. Robichaud. If you'll give that, Ms. Robichaud, do you mind giving that to Ms. Yancey, and she'll get our clerk, they'll get us all a copy of it.
I appreciate it.
And do you want the original back?
I actually have a copy of it at the house, but I didn't know to bring a copy to y'all.
We'll get a copy. They'll scan
Yes, ma'am.
it. They'll give it to us. Thank you. Brenda Burnett.
Hi, my name is Brenda Burnett. I live at 8225 Meadowdale Drive. We were residents there since 1997. We had our home over there. And we were told, just as Skip was told, that there would be another entrance going into our neighborhood from Exchange Street. And they were going to close Broadmoor off. Never happened. And I would like to challenge you, sir, to meet me at your convenience at that mobile home that was up for abatement Nothing's been done there, not been done. I ride by it every day, ride by it coming out here. It's the same as it was yesterday and the day before. So I don't know how you can say it's been,
They just cut the grass and the bushes.
huh?
They just cut the grass and bushes.
I don't know, it's got bushes all
A
around it.
million bushes cut cut.
Yeah, and I was raised, it's not a sin to be poor, but it is a sin to be dirt poor.
Yes, it is.
And just about all of them mobile homes on that street are just, they're just filthy, all of them. And you can condemn homes, why can't you condemn some of those mobile homes? They're not livable. The ones that are empty are not livable. So why can't you go through and condemn them?
Thank you, Ms. Burnett. James Peden. Did he leave? James Peden left? Y'all's neighbor on Broadmoor? Oh, maybe they were the one we pulled. Hold on. Oh, they're gone because they're the ones who live at Broadmoor. So Bobby something, and she lives at the same address. I'm assuming she's gone? Yes.
That's the owner.
That's the property. Okay, and then lastly is, and I apologize because it's not, is it Tony Morrow? I'm sorry, I couldn't read the print. I apologize. I didn't mean to butcher.
Okay. I wasn't going to speak today, but what the hell, you covered me, so.
Well, you don't have to if you don't want to.
That's 8369 Meadowdale Drive.
Okay.
And this was brought to my attention by this lovely lady who came to my house. And I should be thankful because my house, back if it was in California, would be $10 million. But because it's behind Broadmoor, this worth nothing, which is great. We got a great deal on it. I'm happy for that. But when we came and looked at that house, we bought from out of town. We drove down Broadmoor. We almost backed out. We couldn't believe it. I mean, we thought, this is dangerous. I got people, I sell on Facebook once in a while. People come in, they're afraid to drive down the street. They come to my driveway. I have to go out there on a bike or walk out because they're afraid already because they drove down Broadmoor. They tell me this. They're like, we don't want to get out of our car. It's that bad. Now, it's not a bad neighborhood. We run behind our bikes there. People are really nice there, but it's a ghetto. It's pretty bad. I don't want to tell people what to do with their property. I don't think that's right. But as far as, telling me you can't have a mobile home there, but if you're not going to keep it up, and you're going to let it just go, really bad like that, something should be done about it. Anyway, there's not much to say. I think everybody here covered it already pretty well. I'm just repeating everything. But it just needs to be looked at, that's all.
Well, thank you for coming. And I can tell you the former owner, first of all, thank you for investing and thank you for buying that lovely home. Those citizens you purchased from dedicated themselves here to Gautier.
Yes.
They volunteered, they organized, and they're missed a lot.
Yeah.
But thank you for buying their beautiful home and investing here in Gautier. And we will be committed. Ms. Yancey stepped out, but we are committed and trying to do the best we can with the laws we have on beautification of the city. I'm a big proponent of cleaning up and making it because our city needs to look like it's for sale every day because economic development is driven by beautifications. When we attend a municipal league conference, they show photos of before and after of storefronts of one that's got landscaping and looks good and one that looks blighted and nasty. Developers don't want to come spend their money in a city when there's blighted property around and not being addressed. People don't want to buy homes, and Councilman Jackson can attest to this, when homes are not being cleaned and maintained. When you get them cleaned and maintained, then it raises the home values they're able to sell better, and it also helps, it's proven to help also with crime statistics when property care maintenance is better. So we're all about making sure Gautier, as I could say, the Botox and the lipstick is on so we can generate economic development here in Gautier. And we are concerned about your neighborhood. And Ms. Yancey's heard you all tonight. Mr. Ankerson's heard you. Our city attorney, who also is our prosecutor in the city court systems, heard you. And I'm sure our judge, if she hadn't heard you, she does watch our council meetings. And so I'm sure she will hear what you all say. So when they come before her, she will do the right thing that she can do by law.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming.
Can I just add one more thing, sir? There is some of those mobile homes, I guess because they're empty, they don't pay water or sewer. They have garbage cans full that are sitting by the street that have not been emptied for probably 2 to 3 years.
Okay, we'll get Ms. Yancey on that with code enforcement. Thank you.
I got one more thing, if you don't mind.
Go ahead, Ms. Rivers.
Does this mean that y'all will consider to get it rezoned?
I'm going to get the information, Ms. That will be up. Ms. Yancey can get the information with the city attorney to us and the councilman of that area, and then we'll provide it to you all. Y'all can communicate the one who requested it, and we'll provide y'all the steps in the process. Okay. Okay, thank y'all once again for coming. I do see some of my constituents that live in the ward I represented for 2 terms, Ward 3, and they live in the very beautiful Bayou community here in Gautier, in one of our historic areas, really, I would say, in Gautier. And I know tonight they were here on some of these items. And I can attest that I ride that road constantly, and we are on it. And all of the code issues are, Ms. Yancey has been out there herself with Mr. Ankerson to try to get them addressed by how we can address them. I will make a comment when it's my council comment times on some concerns I have to address y'all's neighborhood though. Okay. That brings us to city council comments. Councilman Elbin, it's the second meeting, so you're first up.
Well, I'd like to say, first off, I corresponded with several of you via email. Ms. Blankenship?
Yes.
Mrs. Robichaud? Mr. Skip, I haven't spoke with you before. Who are you sending your emails to in reference to the complaints?
So this is back during the spring, and originally when Adam was in office, and then also with, I think it was Annie Bain.
Okay.
That name sound familiar?
Yes.
They went through the planning through the website,
Okay.
so.
Right. Well, first I'd like to say to all the residents, I'm very appreciative that you've taken the time to actually come down to this council meeting and voice your opinions. One, I always tell anybody that's got issues in the community, this is the place to do it. Not on Facebook, not to your neighbors. You can discuss that and bring them here. But everybody that's involved in this process that's going to help clean that mess up is right here. And you have an opportunity to address us all face to face, so there's no misinformation, in your message. We all hear it. I agree with you. Broadmoor is a mess. It's been a mess ever since I've been on patrol for 27 years. I agree. I've been down, I think it was Mrs. 8312 Meadowdale. Who lives there? 8312.
8213.
8213 is Ms. Robichaud.
On Meadowdale? Is your yard sloped down to the bayou?
Yes.
Yes, it does.
Your house is pristine. And you're correct, you have to drive through a mess. And I'm not saying everybody that lives in there is a mess, but I am saying there needs to be attention on that road. I have spoke with code enforcement, I have spoke with the planning director. They are aware of it, they've given me the stats as well. The stats are showing they're doing something, but it ain't enough. But by you all being here, talking to us directly, everybody's hearing it, maybe your voices are going to be heard in unison and something will be done. The last group we had on Shirley Drive in that area up there, they came as a community and their voices are heard and things are being done. So I applaud you for being here and we'll keep on top of that. But if we fail, you need to come right back here and get in our face. I don't have a problem, that's right. You voted me to do a job. And everybody that's here that has a day-to-day operational job in this city is responsible for helping you out. And that's what I say, and I encourage you to come back if nothing's being done. That's all I have.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Elder. Councilman Fuller?
I know that's not my ward, but I'm gonna make it my business to go down there and see, because I am a guy that's stickler for his yard to be kept. And I just like to see neat stuff, and especially in my community. So I'm gonna make it my business to come down. Then I wanna give kudos to our city manager and her team for the activity that I see going on Martin Bluff Road. They beautifying it. And kudos to my constituents out there, Mr. Moore, Mr. Sim, and the rest of you guys. But I'm gonna make it my business to go down there because I believe the city should look like it's supposed to look. So we're gonna put forth an effort. I'm quite sure Scott gonna do what he said he gonna do. And we're gonna come down here and see if we can give y'all some help in that area.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Is that all you have, Councilman? Councilman Meyer?
No comment.
Councilwoman Jameson?
Yeah, I just want to echo what the others have said. I spend my afternoons riding through my ward looking for issues and potholes and dilapidated properties and things. So I'm doing my best to get Ward 3 cleaned up also, and I encourage you to email me if you see anything that I haven't noticed. And I do appreciate the citizens that came tonight to our meeting, because that does help. Thank you.
Yeah, and Councilwoman Jameson, just so you know, the residents over there off of Suter are here to support you this evening. So.
Thank you for coming. I'm sorry I wasn't there.
You're welcome. Councilman, safe travels home. Councilman Jackson?
No comment.
Councilman George?
No discussion.
I just want to echo what Councilman Elbin, what everybody has said. I just thank you all for coming out. Blighted property is just hard, and our laws here in Mississippi to get them cleaned up are even harder. Our economic development, if I had to say two laws in municipal government that is state regulated, there's two major things I would say that fit at top of the list that I deal with. It is code enforcement, blighted property, and two, recruiting economic development incentives. And I've been in classes in our state does not, we have to go to legislature, get special interlocal agreements to get special legislation to get economic development deals sometimes, when it should be readily available so us local officials and our community can recruit economic development to our community. So if you see your legislatures, two important topics you need to be telling them what they should consider getting with local people on are those two topics. And I will continue to fight for those two topics as long as I'm elected, because they're very important to me. The third one, it's up there, 1, 2, and 3. They're all rated equally, is also public safety. I want to thank our former city staff for a job. You know, they work hard every day, and sometimes they don't get thanked enough. Little kudos goes a long ways. When a staff member gets told, they don't get told sometimes or hear what I say, or what councilmen say, or what Ms. Yancey might say, or what their directors might say, but sometimes they just see themselves getting beat up by our citizens on social media. And when I'm with our leaders, you know, the staff is what's here to support you, not beat them up. I mean, our citizens have to embrace and communicate and engage with the staff and be supportive. And, you know, we all have to come together as a community. And I've said it repeatedly, and I'm saying it again. Social media is going to be the death of this country. Because reaching out to us, you know, in my role, when you reach out to me, I forward it immediately to the departments that have to handle it. And then they start a process. And yes, it might feel like it takes forever, but they are trying their best to get on it. And I just want to thank the city staff for your hard work, and I want to thank the citizens who are out there. And sometimes you just it's nature to say something negative, but when you say something negative, say about 5 positive things that counters the negative, because we do have a lot of positive to say here in our community. Our city staff, I thank all that have attended our farmers market. We have one more coming up in September, and I encourage you to attend the last one for the season. We have a lot of youth that have started doing farmers markets. Some of our youth, Councilman Minor's children with some of their classmates, had a lemonade stand on the highway the other day at one of our boutiques and insurance agencies trying to make money. Our youth are excited about being young entrepreneurs. So if you see them out and about, I encourage you to support those little darlings. Also this past week, a big milestone, if you're not on social media, and if you're not on social media and you're not signed up, how many of y'all are signed up for our app on the phone? How many know we have an app? Okay, I encourage everybody, does everybody have a smartphone? Okay, if you don't have a smartphone, reach out. We can get you signed up through the website for a newsletter we do. But I encourage you all to sign up for the newsletter. If you have a smartphone, I advise you to download the app. City of Gautier, it's got the Sandhill Crane, and it's got the Gautier blue color on it. The reason is that app, we send notifications out, and if we're in the middle of an emergency, that's going to be our fastest way to get the info to the citizens, is through the app. So I encourage you to do that. It's very beneficial. But this past Friday, I want to thank the city staff. I want to thank our engineering firm, Seymour Engineering. I want to thank our contractor who was awarded the job. I want to thank also our public works service provider and some of them who helped furnish sodas and everything out there for everybody. But we had a groundbreaking, and I want to thank the Mississippi Songwriters for their Performing Arts Center. But for everybody who does not know, and they've been asking what is going on the old former Singing River Mall property, the Town Commons property, it's the Mississippi Songwriters Hall of Fame and Performing Arts Center that is being constructed. It received state funding for the project, and the funding can only be used for that project. So I want everybody to understand, we don't got money that we're just throwing there. We applied for it to be for that project, and it can only be used for that project. So when you do projects, I just want our citizens to go be educated about it. So when you hear the negative, we could have put money somewhere else or done something. That was one of the projects. I want to also say, when you're in economic development meetings, you have to have what I call skin in the game, you hear them say. So we got to have some skin in the game. So our skin in the game, the first step was to invest with a piece of public art, which was the roundabout. Previously, before I was councilman, that was part of Hurricane Katrina funding. The second part of putting skin in the game is the sound amphitheater, and then we got luckily a donor from Louisiana to partner and give some money, so we have the inclusion playground. And then now this will be the third component. the songwriters. So to developers, it shows us as a community are committed to that area, and we have a vision, and we've put our skin in the game, so now we want them to come put their skin in the game. So I just want citizens to understand the economic development circle, how it operates. So when you hear people talking or saying negative, you can contradict it. But thank you all. It was a nice celebration. It was a little warm, but we had a great time. I think everybody enjoyed it. Also, it is a local contractor that was awarded the contract here in coastal Mississippi, and he will hire local some Gautier business and some Jackson County businesses to be a part of the construction of it. So they all are getting some work, and it's creating jobs here in Gautier. Next, I want to say I was blessed to be invited by the Rail Commission to ride on the inaugural train ride, and I thank the Rail Commission. I thank our federal delegation, Senator Wicker, Senator Cindy Hyde Smith was present, for their support of the rail system, but also our state delegation for their support of the rail system, to be able to offer us amenities here that we deserve at a good, reasonable cost. And it will help with economic development, tourism, and it will help create help employment with jobs, etc. So it's got many benefits. So we're glad to see the rail open and going. As you know, it kicked off for everybody on Monday, and it's been busy, and you can see a lot of positive feedback. So I encourage you to visit Amtrak and schedule you a little ride on the train to and from Mobile or New Orleans or Biloxi, Gulfport, or Bay St. Louis. Also, last but not least, Ms. Yancey has mentioned it, but I want to give a shout out and a thanks to our sister cities, our county, Jackson County staff, Monica Cooper, Nicole. They have also the Jackson County Chamber, Paige Roberts, who was over Red Cross when the Katrina hit. But us having this K-20 event, and Ms. Yancey for allowing herself and staff to attend the meetings, but the county had a vision. They felt we should all do a group joint effort to show our partnerships, because Gautier was the hub city after Katrina, if you didn't know that. The county operated out of Gautier, Mississippi for disaster response. So with that being said, they chose and wanted to host something at the Sound. They'll have Unfazed Show Band, Ty Taylor and Graham Ray will be performing Mississippi Songwriters. They're part of that. There'll be some food there, hamburgers, hot dogs, some food trucks. I just encourage you to come out and fellowship with citizens from not only us here in Gautier, but fellowship with Ocean Springs, Pascagoula, Moss Point, and Jackson Countyans, and encourage your family and friends to come. We'll have a few chairs, or you can actually, because it's not a ticketed show, it's free, and it's being hosted by us with the partnership of all them. You can bring your bag chair if you would like to place it on the lawn for that event. So I encourage you, that'll be on August the 28th. Please come, 5:30. It's going to be a great evening here in Gautier. I encourage you to support our sister cities that have memorial events going on for Katrina. And I encourage you to think about the positive, where we have come in a long time. 20 years and where we are today, it's something that we should all be proud, and it took a lot of work. And our city manager was the county board attorney, and she helped make sure everything was getting done, along with city clerks, public safety, everybody. I can't thank them all, but thank to all the employees who worked during the Katrina days for all your dedication to rebuilding. That brings us to our city manager comments. Ms. Yancey, do you have anything? Ms. Montgomery, you do not have anything? And Mr. Danos, do you have anything?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Okay. Do we have a motion? Real fast, Chief, can somebody do a public safety announcement? Because we got a gentleman running around town. My phone has gotten 10 messages since we've been in this meeting. We got some company who thinks they can just door knock. Can we get somebody? He's in the Point Clear area and he just continues to not want to follow rules, but he's going to find himself injured.
They've only received one call. We made contact with them and directed them to get a permit.
Okay, well, they just called again because I just directed them, so they've called again tonight. If we can get that gentleman, whoever he is, make him aware, citizens, he don't need to be going on people's private property. Do we have a motion to adjourn until September the 2nd, 2025 at 6:30 p.m.?
So moved.
Motion by Councilman Jackson, a second by Councilman Minor. All in favor? Councilwoman Jamison? Motion carries. We're adjourned.